Trish Stratus is a WWE legend, widely regarded as the figure who helped define the modern era of women's wrestling. Today, she has deliberately stepped away from the pace of the spotlight and chosen to live in a home in Ontario, a region marked by open space, quiet surroundings, and a rhythm of life that moves more slowly each day. After years of standing at the front and forcing an entire industry to rethink how it viewed women in the ring, this is a phase in which she no longer needs to prove anything, but is free to live as a calmer version of herself. Welcome to you, the story of Trish Stratus. Before being recognized as a legend, the career path of Trish Stratus was much like anyone else's, neither easy nor predetermined. Born in 1975 in Toronto, Ontario, under the name Patricia Ann Strategaeus, she grew up in an environment far removed from the world that would later shape her life. Her early interests were ordinary and centered on sports. She studied biology and kinesiology at York University, played soccer and field hockey, and worked part-time as a receptionist at a local gym. Wrestling at that time was simply something she watched, not a path she ever imagined herself stepping into. The first shift came unexpectedly. While working at that gym, she was approached by the publisher of Muscle Mag International and invited to do a test photo shoot. What followed was a rapid rise in fitness modeling, magazine covers, and media exposure. On the surface, it appeared to be a complete career in itself, but this visibility placed her in the path of World Wrestling Federation, which signed her to a developmental contract in late 1999. Her early days in WWE did not resemble the legend she would become. Trish debuted in 2000 as a valet and manager, positioned more as a supporting character than a competitor. Yet behind the scenes, she committed herself to training with Ron Hutchinson, learning a craft she had never practiced before. The transition was difficult and often scrutinized, but it marked the true beginning of her transformation. The first defining breakthrough arrived through her rivalry with Lita. Their feud moved beyond storyline rivalry and became a test of credibility. Trish's in-ring work improved visibly, match by match, until she could no longer be dismissed as a performer relying on image alone. By 2001, she captured the Women's Championship for the first time, signaling a shift not just in her career, but in how women's wrestling was being presented. Injury and storyline volatility followed, including time away from the ring and a controversial angle involving the McMahon family. Instead of derailing her momentum, these periods sharpened her presence. When she returned, Trish was more confident, more controlled, and increasingly central to the women's division. Over the next several years, she repeatedly reclaimed the Women's Championship, each reign reinforcing her position as the division's anchor. By the mid-2000s, her role had evolved again. She was no longer proving she belonged. She was setting the standard. Even as she transitioned into part-time competition, her influence remained constant. When she stepped away from full-time wrestling, it felt deliberate rather than forced. Her induction into the WWE Hall of Fame in 2013 confirmed what had already become clear. Trish Stratus was not remembered for a single moment, but for changing the trajectory of women's wrestling through consistency, resilience, and growth. Today, that same discipline defines her life beyond the ring. Away from competition, she has built a quieter rhythm centered on health, movement, and longevity. The drive remains, no longer fueled by the need to prove anything, but simply as the way she lives now. And next, we'd like to introduce you to her peaceful home in Ontario. Trish Stratus's home in Ontario is a two-story black wooden cottage set right beside a lake and surrounded by dense forest. The exterior design feels modern, yet understated. The dark wood allows the house to blend into its natural surroundings rather than stand out against them. This is where Trish, her husband Ron Fisico, their two children Maximus and Madison, and her mother spend their summers slowing life down and stepping away from their usual routines. Inside the cottage, the space is organized with warmth and practicality in mind. The main living level opens into a combined living room and kitchen, large enough for the family to gather, but free of unnecessary details. Wood ceilings, soft, warm lighting, and simple furnishings create an atmosphere that feels calm and grounded, a clear contrast to the pace and pressure of city life. Evenings often end with the family watching a movie together, talking, or simply resting after long days spent outdoors. Just outside the house is an outdoor hot tub, positioned beside the wooden deck and facing the surrounding greenery. It serves as a place to unwind after physical activity, to soak quietly, or to enjoy the fresh forest air. The space is not designed for luxury display, but for recovery and relaxation. The outdoor environment is what truly shapes daily life at the cottage. By the lakeside, Trish and her mother often sit together, casually chatting and sharing lighthearted jokes, while the children play nearby on the deck or in the water. These moments unfold naturally, without planning or performance. Exactly what a family summer retreat is meant to be. Right beside the house, small trails wind deeper into the forest, becoming paths of discovery for Trish, her children, and their grandmother. Maximus and Madison walk alongside their mother and grandmother, observing insects, plants, and the subtle changes of the woods as they move forward. These walks have no fixed destination. They are moments when time slows down and attention is given fully to the shared experience. This cottage does not represent career success or legendary status. It is a space defined by family, by summer, by connection, and renewal. For Trish Stratus, the black wooden lakeside home in Ontario is not a place to prove anything. It is where she chooses to fully inhabit her role as a wife and mother. The house feels as peaceful as its setting, doesn't it? But we'll pause here because next, I want to show you the cars she drives. Vehicles that quietly reflect her personal style. I have always believed that for women, the cars they choose are never ordinary. They go beyond transportation, reflecting how a woman enters a space, commands attention, and lives her life. With Trish Stratus, that idea becomes especially clear through the two vehicles that exist side by side in her life today. The story opens with the Ferrari Roma, the car Trish purchased around 2023, a period when she was no longer living within a dense competition schedule, yet still maintained the demeanor of someone who once dominated the ring. The Roma is not a flamboyant type of Ferrari. It is discreet, compact, and carries a sense of control more than display. In her appearance at WWE's Money in the Bank event, Trish stepped out with this car as a brief affirmation of status. A Ferrari Roma with a price of approximately $230,000 is enough to create a sense of dominance, without requiring any additional or excessive gestures. Away from the lights and the stage, Trish's daily life moves at a different pace. In a recent Instagram photo, she is seen sitting inside a Cadillac Escalade, not on the way to an event, but simply during a day of personal time, getting ready, spending time with friends. The moment feels relaxed and unforced. The Escalade offers space, comfort, and ease, allowing her to sit back, hold her phone, and let the day unfold without urgency. With a price of around $90,000, it suits the moments that do not require strength or performance, only comfort and privacy. Each vehicle carries a different role, yet together they clearly reflect the Trish Stratus of today. A woman who has passed through her peak and now chooses balance over noise. But to reach the sense of completeness she has today, the way she built her wealth matters just as much. Follow us as we take a closer look. At the present time, Trish Stratus maintains a stable financial foundation built through a gradual transition after stepping away from full-time competition, with an estimated net worth of around $6 million, reflecting long-term consistency rather than short-term growth. A portion of her steady income still comes from WWE through a part-time contract that brings in approximately $310,000 per year. This income is generated primarily through selective appearances at major events such as Royal Rumble and WrestleMania, along with revenue shares from merchandise and performance-related bonuses. Although she no longer competes on a regular schedule, these carefully chosen appearances continue to preserve her brand value within the organization she once helped define. However, the center of Trish's financial life has clearly shifted away from the ring. The majority of her current income comes from Trish Stratus Yoga, with estimated annual earnings ranging between $400,000 and $600,000 US. This business extends across physical studios, online training programs, fitness products, and lifestyle-focused endorsement deals, all closely aligned with the way she lives today. Alongside this is a stream of long-term income from WWE game royalties, acting work, and additional brand partnerships, estimated to contribute a further $200,000 to $300,000 USD per year. These revenues do not require constant visibility, yet continue to generate value through the reputation she built over time. Together, these income sources form a balanced financial structure that no longer depends on physical performance or demanding schedules. Some estimates factoring in shared family investments suggest a higher combined value, but Trish Stratus's personal finances still reflect careful money management and a well-timed shift beyond peak competition. Compared to the broader industry, Trish Stratus falls within the group with stable wealth, though not at the very top. That level reflects a choice to prioritize long-term sustainability and control rather than short-term peaks in income. Trish Stratus's financial life today is defined less by how much she earns and more by how deliberately she has structured her income: steady, diversified, and aligned with a life no longer driven by the demands of competition. Finally, and this is the most interesting part of the video, do you know how Trish Stratus lives today? We invite you to find out now. Today, Trish Stratus is living a fulfilled family life alongside her husband, Ron Fisico, and their 2 children. After many years together, their marriage is not built around public display, but around quiet partnership and clearly shared roles in daily life. Ron remains largely out of the spotlight, yet plays an essential part in maintaining the rhythm of the household, especially when it comes to supporting the children and allowing Trish to balance work and family. Their son, Maximus, now around 13 years old, is entering his teenage years, becoming more independent and focused on school and personal interests. Their younger daughter, Madison Patricia, about 9, still carries a sense of closeness and warmth, often appearing in moments Trish chooses to share. While the children are kept away from public attention, it is clear they sit at the center of the life Trish has carefully built. Trish's daily routine follows a steady, familiar rhythm. Her mornings usually begin with yoga or a gym session to keep her body aligned, followed by a simple breakfast that often includes whey protein, a habit shaped by years in professional athletics. She prepares breakfast for the family, while Ron typically takes care of getting the children to school. It is a routine that repeats quietly, reflecting a household that has found its balance over time. Once the family's morning is settled, Trish turns to her professional commitments. She continues to hold a part-time contract with WWE, making selective appearances at major events, while also developing her Trish Stratus Yoga brand through courses and fitness products. The year 2026 marks several personal projects, from a limited edition calendar to magazine cover features. These activities are regularly updated on her Instagram and Facebook, serving both to promote her work and to maintain a steady, understated presence with fans. Despite a demanding schedule, Trish does not allow work to overshadow family life. Important moments throughout the year are reserved for her children. Recently, during the Christmas season, she shared scenes of the family gathered together as the kids excitedly opened their gifts. Madison Patricia's 9th birthday was celebrated with a small, pink-themed party. Intimate, warm, and shared with close friends and family. The year 2025 also brought a period of quiet grief, as Trish lost her mother after a long battle with cancer. Since then, she has occasionally referenced her mother in brief social media posts, offering no grand statements, but enough to show that the loss continues to live with her. Trish Stratus's personal life today no longer revolves around spotlight moments or dramatic highs. It is a life arranged with intention, where family, work, and memory coexist in a steady rhythm, allowing her to move forward without haste and without the need to prove anything further. If you enjoy stories that look beyond fame and focus on how public figures live today, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and join us for more real-life journeys told away from the ring.